In recent years, there have been many think pieces, be it visual or written, about the death of rom-coms and the dying form that is romantic comedies. But I want to pose a question. What if rom-coms aren't dead? What if we're not looking in the right places? Romantic comedies, at least 20 years ago, were a surefire way of an actor and an actress establishing themselves in the film industry. It was a surefire way of a budding actor's career to blossom. We had a number of romantic comedies being in the top 10 and making enough money, being the bread and butter for the film industry, because it would always get people into the cinema, it would always get people into theater. But this has changed since the 2010s, and now we see the resurgence of the blockbusters, be it Marvel, and then we see the film industry constantly relying on nostalgia. Rom-coms aren't the priority anymore. Rom-coms aren't the bread and butter. And if we do get rom-coms now, we're usually getting a retelling of an older, successful, and established film. And it's usually just a lazy way of getting people in using nostalgia, getting people in using a surefire that will bring them back. It's, for instance, in 2024, there was a movie with Julia Roberts and George Clooney, and these two were stars that got their fame established through being in very successful rom-coms. Julia Roberts with Notting Hill, Pretty Woman, My Best Friend's Wedding, Eat, Pray, Love, and George Clooney with movies like One Fine Day and many more. And we see film industry using old names, established actors that were established in rom-coms to get us back into the cinema, but to get us watching rom-coms again, but at home through streaming. Now I pose to you this question as the audience. Are rom-coms dead, or are we just not searching in the right places? And I offer a suggestion to you. Rye Lane is a 2023 British romantic comedy film that was released in the cinemas in March 2023. February, March, I was at a particular train station in South London and I saw the poster for Rye Lane. And I just loved how simplistic the poster was. And it wasn't until late in 2023 I happened to watch Rye Lane. And it became one of the best movies I have seen in recent years. It is so good that every year I rewatch it. So Rye Lane follows Yas and Dom, our two protagonists. Yas encounters Dom in a very awkward situation, and the film follows them spending the entire day together. And you see their attraction and interest in each other grow over the course of the movie. And the movie is an hour and 30 minutes long, which is a very beautiful length for the journey, but it doesn't feel like it. No second or minute is wasted in this movie. Every single clip shows their development as characters and romantic partners. Dom and Yas are in a somewhat similar situation because they have just both been out of a long-term relationship. Yas got broken up with her boyfriend, and Dom got broken up with his girlfriend. Technically, his girlfriend cheated on him with his best friend. And you see them over the course of an hour and something minutes try and reconcile these feelings and try and reconcile the hurt that the partner put them through. So, for instance, Yaz reconciling her lack of self-belief because you see her even pushing away job opportunities because she doesn't think she's good enough for it. And that was one thing her partner pointed out, that she doesn't really stick to her guns. She doesn't really do what she says she's gonna do because she doesn't believe much in herself. Most of the movie, Yas portrays herself to be something she quite isn't. She portrays her ideal self to Dom because one, he's a stranger. Two, she encountered him through him being in a very awkward situation. So she kind of upper hand, and the way she presents herself to Dom, that inspires Dom to move through his breakup and through his hurt in a more empowered way. So they're unintentionally and intentionally helping each other. Through the course of an hour and 30 minutes, the storytelling is so vivid and it's so imaginative that you cannot get bored watching Rye Lane. The director and the cinematographers, they do such a good job with using different lenses. So when it comes to flashbacks, the flashbacks is done in such an imaginative and interesting way that I don't think I've really seen a lot in movies. So for instance, when Dom was retelling how he caught his girlfriend cheating on him, they do the exact retelling, but he's telling the story and he's also being in the story, and Dom is watching him being in the story. So they when they do it, they make various retellings of them being active participants in that. But then the other love interest also watching from the sidelines or watching in there and being in disbelief. And it's done in such an interesting way. Like, there's no way you could watch Rye Lane and get bored. Maybe the story might not be for you, which I think it's a lie. But there is no way you will get bored because they use different lenses, different shots. They even use fisheye lenses for certain retellings. And I think it's like brilliant. I think it's so well done. The story feels so alive, especially where it's set in or it starts in Rye Lane, Peckham, which is very bustling. Every scene you see, there is a form of community, and it's with them either interacting with people that names we'll never know of and characters that we'll never know of, and also characters interacting with the screen. Like, scene feels alive. Every scene feels like what you would see in your day-to-day life. It feels like you're actually seeing them go through Rye Lane. It doesn't feel sanitized. And you can tell that Rhiannon Allen Miller, the director, wanted each scene to feel very alive and feel like you are there. She wanted the movie to feel like you are also being embedded in the flesh of the community, in the flesh of South London. And that's what each and every scene feels like. And the way the camera moves in such a beautiful way, it doesn't, like, nothing about it feels sanitized. In moments where there are a level of discomfort, you feel it in the camera shot. And then other times it's just very free and it shows you're always getting an idea of whatever's happening in the background because you're also being involved in the storytelling as well. The chemistry between David Johnson and Vivian Apara is so strong. You can tell that the characters have genuine care and interest for each other, that although they only met for the first time that day, they took such a liking to each other, and just that interaction alone did something. It was more than they could have imagined, and you feel that each time and in each frame of the show. First, you can see the genuine interest as to, oh, why was he in the bathroom, and who is this strange girl that made this comment about someone's mouth and teeth. And then, okay, she's actually kind of interesting, and I like how she carries herself. And wow, he is so smart and charismatic in a very unassuming way, and you see all of that grow to the very end, and I think it's just really well done. I know we say rom-coms are dead. Yes, it's a dying genre and it definitely needs to come back and it needs to be more in the cinemas, but I think you should try and search for rom-coms that aren't just American. Search for rom-coms that are British, that are Australian, that are from Africa, that are from Asia. Do not just settle for American rom-coms because they are dying there, but they are being fed in other parts of the world. Okay? One reason I loved Rye Lane is because as a black person, it's rare to see two black leads in a very trauma-free movie. Like, this movie isn't traumatic. It's not based on slavery or doesn't have hints of slavery. It's just two people going through a Saturday in Peckham and becoming attracted to each other as the minutes roll by. And it's like just seeing two unambiguous black people on my screen. It's rare. See that and then see a drama that isn't a sub story in the sense of, oh my god, we're fighting for our love. Like, it's nice to see something that's just breezy. It's breezy, but there is a bit of tension. But that tension comes from the hurt. That tension comes from them reconciling their head. My point is, watch Rye Lane, okay? Get to like, subscribe to my channel. The leagues that hikey low-key wanna get to year. Actually, no, by May. My birthday's in May, so that'll be nice. Did I guilt trip you? If I did, very water. But yeah, I want to get to 1,000 subscribers before my birthday because I think I deserve it.
Well, that's got to be hands down the greatest hookup story of all time.